Imagine turning acute myeloid leukemia's deadly remission into lasting survival. That's SELLAS Life Sciences, and they are on the brink. Their phase 3 REGAL trial for GPS, a targeted WT1 immunotherapy, is event-driven and closing in fast. SLS just hit 72 of 80 survival events in late December, with the next IDMC check possibly any day now in late January to mid-February. No modifications recommended before. That's a green light signal. If GPS delivers durable overall survival in AML CR2 patients, we're looking at a potential blockbuster for 100,000 plus patients and a massive rerate for this small cap. The catalyst window is now. Don't blink, because SLS could be the next oncological breakout. This is the Macro Ghost here, giving you over 20 years of macroeconomic, financial analysis, and trading experience in the global capital market. Today, from a recommendation in my Discord, I'm going to look at SELLAS Life Sciences. I know nothing about them other than what I studied in the last 2 days. I don't pretend to be a biotech analyst. That I am not. I do look at macro, technical, and fundamental data from a top-down level. That means charts and revenue, expense, earnings from a top-down level. And then I can look at the overall market and project what I want to do. Do I want to own this? Is the return greater than the risk, etc.? That's what I'm going to do with SELLAS right now. So let's go over it. Life Science Group's SELLAS is up 50.8% after REGAL trial nears final OS triggered. That was earlier this month. And I saw this number, 72 out of 80 overall survival events, and that could be a good thing. So I took notes on that. Just going down the list, to own SELLAS today, you have to believe that the GPS in AML and the emerging SLS 009 program can ultimately justify a high-loss pre-revenue business. What does all this mean? It means that they have to generate the revenue to cover their expense, and that's the case with all biotechs. So this writer creatively said, well, here's my pitch. This is the pipeline, REGAL's binary outcome risk. Listen, if you're listening to this and you know SELLAS better than I do, you know it's a binary outcome event. What is a binary outcome event? It's a 1 or a 0. And you're betting on SELLAS is going to hit the 1, okay? Because a lot of biotechs out there hit the 0. And that's why there's so much short interest across all biotechs. The banks, the smart money, they all know that 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 biotechs are a 0, and 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 are a 1. We can maybe get that 1 here because of what I'm seeing in the data. So let's keep digging. One of SELLAS' big financial risks is still largely in the background for many investors. Our comprehensive, listen, you guys don't need a comprehensive valuation report. What you need is to understand that revenue must cover expenses. Now, this is pre-commercial, so this is clinical, so they don't have revenue. So their cash stockpile, which I believe off memory is 72 million, must cover their expenses so they can get this to commercialization and start making money like IBRX is doing right now. And I'm going to get to that later. So you don't need them. You need to know that their burn rate is going to get to commercialization. I'm going to go over that. So these estimates, they don't really matter. Like if you see a street estimate, I can tell you right now, my price target is $40. And you're going to believe me because you want to believe me. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a no-nonsense look at SELLAS and what I like and what I see as a risk, and then a summary. So I took some notes in the last 2 days. Here they are. That was for my opening statement. Late-stage biotech focus on cancer therapies, particularly in acute myeloid leukemia, AML, blood cancer. I saw a blood cancer theme here. In other words, oncology theme here. Their lead candidate is a peptide immunotherapy targeting the WT1 antigen. It's a pivotal phase 3 REGAL trial as maintenance therapy for AML patients in second complete remission. The takeaway I got was this is an event-driven based on deaths as an event. They have 72 out of 80. The final analysis triggers at 80 events, followed by the unblinding. The upside is, well, slower event accrual than expected could signal better than historical survival. That's a positive for us bulls. But for bears, the banks and institutions, note that high bars, hazard ratio targets, open label design risk, and past WT1 therapies have actually failed, okay? So this is the near-term binary catalyst, potentially in Q1 this quarter, but the exact timing is unpredictable. So if you're a holder, you have to be expecting something relatively shortly, and I think you are. Okay, so we kind of covered this already. SELLAS announced a partnership with Impact AML Network, a big European AML collaborative, to expand the program. From my macro perspective, that's great. That means that somebody believes in them. This gives access to multiple EU sites for approximately 40 patients in the EU arm starting Q2 2026, described as capital efficient and a validation of 009's potential. The financials and the positioning, this is something of my level where I see a cash, 71.8 million. What are they burning per month? Okay, you have to answer that question for yourself. In my opinion, it's a bit light because they're around a $400 to $600 million biotech. They should have at least a 9-figure cash position. To get to the starting line, essentially, of commercialization, they have to secure cash. How do they do that? They do that in a couple ways. Partnerships, as I just discussed, debt issuance or equity issuance, and that's like 80%. And that dilutes us as shareholders. But all biotechs do this. This is not uncommon ground in biotech world, okay? So I believe, based on memory, it's around 382 a share, and that's around 600 or 600 million cap. I'd look to buy around 400 million. I'd be looking to buy around pullbacks, me, myself, personally. Analysts put it around $6.8 to $7 a share from Maxim. Again, you can't trust those motherfuckers. They're not honest. They're just out to make money. I would say accumulate around 450 million cap because I'm going to get to the upside next, okay? So the risks are high burn, dilution history, as I talked about, and binary risk trial. The binary risk is if something happens and bad data comes out and it can drive it to near zero. So that's the risk we all have to take with every biotech. Seeking alpha pieces have bearish ahead. I don't really look at them. I don't really consider them, but I'm just noting it as a note. In my opinion, it's got the same dip by volatility appeal as an IBRX does. It's a lot smaller than an IBRX by market cap. If you know market caps, you know IBRX is it's in commercial production with 700% year-on-year revenue for pancreas cancer, the CIS, I believe, which is the less common, the more rare cancer, and they're trying to get the more common one approved. That's papillary. So IBRX is going to cover a gamut of cancers, whereas this is going to focus on oncology and that niche, that blood cancer niche, which both are okay. One's going to have a higher market cap and less risk, and one's going to have a lower market cap and maybe a higher ceiling and more risk, okay? So the GPS phase 3 is the real monster catalyst here, but it's event-driven. We've talked about that. Some chatter points to possible IDMC independent review, management committee review, or event updates in late February 2026, which is what you're all waiting for, I'm sure. Nothing confirmed as a big announcement locked into Q1 yet. That could spill over for delay. Overall, Q1 looks more about execution milestone achievement, trial initiation than a massive binary readout. If enrollment starts soon, that could drive price action up. So I want to do a little bit of a model. Those are my thoughts just on my notes. But if I break it down to ones and zeros, my position is this is a $400 to $600 million market cap with, I would say, a $100 billion ceiling. And how do I get that number? Well, that's just based on global cancer and broken down by oncology. Merck as a partner is great. They're in the clinical stage, no revenue clinical stage. SLS operates on a narrow, more oncologically focused, centered on 2 candidates, GPS and SLS 009. Shows significant promise in oncological malignancies like ovarian cancer, leukemia, etc. It doesn't cover as much of the non-oncological areas, but that's fine if your market cap right now is 400 million. If your market cap is 6 billion like IBRX, you should be covering all cancers. Their ceiling is a lot higher. They're going to be covering everything. They're going to have a higher burn rate. They're going to need more money to match that burn rate. And they're going to need a much faster commercialization to get there. So this is kind of like the heavyweight and this is the middleweight. And they both have huge upsides, okay? So I'm not going to really talk about IBRX here because it's not a video on IBRX, but I wanted to have you guys, you can screenshot this if you want, read it yourself, do your own research, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really going to be it. So if you have any comments, maybe something I missed, because I am admittedly a novice with regard to SLS. I just started covering it 2 to 3 days ago. So novice view, but I do have a macro top-down view that goes back 20 years. One thing I did want to add that I forgot to do was the technical charting. And again, we're at 377. I'm going to do a fib ad blocker. Screw you. I'm going to do a fib level from low to high here. And it looks like it's going to be, so my accumulation would be around the 0.50 or 0.618. I'm probably not going to get those levels again based on the events that are coming. But yeah, maybe the 0.382, 3.47. So I'm very picky about these levels. These are levels that are going to be supported by the bots and the algos that trade the stock off of machine learning and algorithmic trading. So the $3.47 looks pretty good, but $2.90 looks better. I don't know we're going to get there. We have this nice little bull flag here, this body right here, and then making this consolidation. So we should be able to fill this flag up, and this is a bullish pennant. So it should, given the news, the events cause the price action, not the technicals. The technicals are just show the market's expectation of the biotech. But the market's expectation is up. So given we're in this early stage flag, I would expect maybe, some consolidation here and then on positive news, the next leg up. So again, the 382 looks good to me at 347. So if it comes down to there, I could pick up some shares and just start dollar cost averaging if it comes down. For me, I'm not afraid of lower prices. If I believe in something, I'm not afraid of lower price. I don't panic out. Lower prices mean cheaper stock to me. So I want to get cheaper stock so I can make more money. Okay, so that's all. That's what I wanted to cover. And again, like, subscribe, and share, and comment. And if you have any other questions, I do answer all my comments. So give me some questions about anything you want, maybe another stock you want me to look at. Basically, my conclusion is SELLAS is in that sweet spot of market capitalization for a mid-cap biotech of 400 to 600 million. It does have some cash on hand, like 73 to 80 million for a burn rate to get to from clinical to commercialization. But we got to get there this year. And so the market's going to price that in. If there's good news, the market's going to send the stock up. If it sends the stock up, I'd be dollar cost averaging out. I'd be taking gains, and then I'd be waiting for opportunities to get back in. So that's just me. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor at all. This is just for entertainment purposes and clearly just my opinion. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you hopefully soon.